That's true.
Can you guys hear me? Let's turn up the volume. There you are. Awesome. All right, here you go.
Mason put on a story, I think.
He
It's
did.
because Mason got it the worst. He said he was on the phone with his girl in the elevator. He's like, "Hey, I just want $100," and he like steps on it and everything.
Oh, you try to give it back?
Yeah, he got screwed over.
I was gonna give it back. The first thing I thought was like, how do I find out whose this is?
It's right here.
All right. Oh, there it is. Great.
Let me just put it on. Oscar should be the only one getting on.
Okay, guys. Looks like we're live and ready to go. Can you hear us on virtual? Yes? No. Is it muted? No, it's not. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. I'm looking at you guys over here. Okay. All right. Perfect. So the computer screen's over here, but the camera's over here. So if you guys see me looking over here, that's because I'm looking at you guys. So kind of, you know what? Let's just move the camera in front a little bit. We'll move you guys. There we go.
Good.
That's a little better. There we go. That's a little better. Now you're kind of in front of me. All righty. So here is the agenda today. Today is our first day of training. So welcome, guys. Welcome. I want to apologize because the agency meeting is usually over at 12, and I went a little bit longer than we expected today. We had a lot to go over, and we usually end about 12. So normally if we end at 12, then this can start at 1, and you would have a whole hour to have a little bit of a lunch break. So today we started it at 1:30 just to make sure that you had at least some time to get a lunch break. So I was in a meeting. After that meeting, I was eating tacos as I was meeting with people, so we're just going from one to another. So I ate some tacos, went and washed my hands to get the taco smell off so I could get back in the class with you guys. But okay, so what we're going to go over today is just a little bit about what to expect over the next 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 years, kind of what to expect, what some of the numbers are going to look like. We're going to go over. So basically, understanding the opportunity is the main thing. If today is the first day of training class, I think explaining and getting a good understanding of our career is going to be the most important thing before we even get into the actual functionality, the do's, the don'ts, the scripts, the how-tos. Before you even, I say, if you know the why to, the how to comes a lot easier. Like if you know why you're doing something, the how to isn't as hard, comes a lot easier. So we're going to go over a little bit, maybe the why to's today, and touch on that. So we'll dive into the first few weeks of training. So this week and next week are going to be kind of like a similar type of schedule. Okay. In the mornings, what you guys are going to be doing is you're going to be role playing. So you want to think when you wake up in the mornings from like 9 till noon during these next 2 weeks, your main thing is practicing your presentation. So there's going to be a lot of time built in. Every single morning, we're practicing it live with another person, role playing it, whether it's virtually on the screen or live, with another person live. And your manager will be kind of sitting in there and observing and watching those role plays, probably having you record your presentation. Like, so if you guys were on the screen or, in person and you were role playing with each other, you would record that. And then your manager would watch it with you together, and you guys can kind of go over what you did well, what you need to improve on. And that whole thing it comes from all the greatest football teams in college and in the pros. They record everything. They record practice, and at the end of practice, you know what they do? They watch it. Guess who they watch it with?
Coach.
The coaches, So they say Ohio State, right after practice, they watch film and then they go eat dinner. You're not allowed to eat dinner until you watched your film of what you just practiced. And we just practiced it. Why do I got to watch myself practice? Because they say the eye in the sky never lies. You may think you did it this way, but we'll see you on film. You know how many times the coach told me that in practice? I'm like, Coach, I was doing it. He's like, well, we'll see you in film in 2 hours. We'll see you in a film room today. Because I thought that I was doing this, and the coach was like, no, you're not doing it the right way. And I'm like, no, I was doing it the right way. He's like, well, because we watched everything. So that right there is going to give you opportunities to get repetition in. That's the only way you're going to get good. And if I said, let me teach you sales. And then what I did is I say, here, watch this. Here's how you book one. Watch this. Here's how you give a presentation. Watch this. Here's how you sell. And I do that all week. I make 100 sales, right? And then I say, all right, now you go do it. Do you think you're going to be able to do it? That's like golf is a good example, because golf is a really hard sport to learn. So if you never played golf before and I hired you Tiger Woods came in here and he was like, watch this. What we're going to do, I'm going to teach you how to hit a golf ball straight. That's it. We're just going to work on that today, this week, this year, whatever. And he goes like this. He pulls up and he's like, watch how I do this now. I'm going to pull the club back and I'm going to hit this ball and it's going to go perfectly straight. How many yards is a lot for golf? 300?
Over like 300-400. Yeah.
300 is a lot.
Yeah.
So he hits the ball 300 yards plus. Boom. He says, now watch me do it again. And you get to watch Tiger Woods, one of the greatest of all time, hit a golf ball straight 100 times in a row. And then he gives you the golf club. And says, now you do it. Do you think you're going to be able to hit the golf ball anything like he hit it? You never hit it before in your life. You've never swung or held a golf club, but you watched him do it right there in front of you. No, the way you're going to get good is if maybe he shows you once or twice, like, hey, look, here's how I hold it. Watch. Here's how I swing back. Watch. Here's how I come through. Watch. Okay. See this? I do it 3 or 4 times. At that point, he's going to give you the golf club and he's going to sit down, and just sit there and watch you do it. Right? Another tool that they'll use is he'll record you swinging your golf swing. Right? And then guess what they do with that? Makes you watch it so you can see yourself like he sees you. And he can point out where you're off and where you're on. And every time that you swung, he gave you another pointer. And you got 1% better. And then every time you swung, he gave you another point. You got another 1% better. This time he and after you do about 100 swings, after who does 100 swings? You or him? After you do about 100 swings, with Tiger Woods coaching you up on those 100 swings, now you're 100% better than you were when you came in. So that's why these repetitions are so important in the training process. And it's not only important for me to go out there and swing with nobody there. Like I got to go out there and swing the golf club after practice when Tiger Woods goes home and nobody's there. I have to go there before practice and get a couple reps in, when I go home after dinner and everybody goes to bed, I got to go in my backyard and work on more and watch more, study and still sit there. And then before I go to bed, I got to fall asleep watching videos on golf swings. That's that extra stuff. And when you do all that, that's how you get the experience, Well, here and here, that's the same thing it's like, but if I never had him watch me do it, I don't know if I'm getting better or not. So what if I practice my butt off, but I never had an expert give me the whole time? I could be doing it the wrong way and developing bad habits. And once you develop, that's why I call them habits. They're hard to what? Bad habits die what? So yeah, it's hard to break. So we don't want to develop bad habits, especially when you're in the beginning. And in a way to develop habits and good habits is making sure you always have somebody looking over your shoulder, giving you advice, giving you some feedback. You know, they're not breathing down your neck. They're helping you at the beginning. So that's why what you got to do in the mornings, guys, you got to put yourself on film role playing with each other so that your manager and yourself can watch it together so you can see yourself. I'm telling you, it's such a huge tool. If your manager never watched it with you and all you did is put yourself on film and then watch yourself, you will get 10 times better than the person that role played too, but they never watched themselves afterwards. I promise you, I got so much better. It was painful. It was one of the most painful parts of my life and my career was watching myself giving presentations on film because I was horrible and it was bad and it was tough, man. It was tough. But you know what? Like after I did it a few times, no big deal. I was used to it. I was like, all right, well, what am I going to mess up on this time? Let's see what you said, you goofball. And I'd go in and be watching myself, knowing that I was probably going to mess up at some point in my presentation. And I started to become cool with it and okay with it because I had to be comfortable in my own skin. You know, you really do. And the best salespeople are comfortable in their own skin. And the people that are comfortable when you start watching yourself on film and you start hearing your voice, and you know it's the hardest thing is to listen to yourself talk because it sounds horrible. To you, it does. You know, so that was hard. I'm just telling you, for me, it was hard putting myself on film and then watching myself. It was easier to not put myself on film. And then when I did put myself on film, that was like, okay. But you know, it was so easy to not watch it. So easy. I can't tell you how many times I put myself on film and didn't watch it, you know? And when I started putting myself on film and watching it, I swear to you, it was like, boom, I really hit the career. So what I do moving forward is I don't let you do that to you. I'm not going to let you be here for 2 months or 2 weeks and start to finally put yourself on film. You know, you're going to not have to wait to hit that boom. You're going to be used to the boom. You're going to be coming in and already having it. Your growth is you're going to grow so much faster. So the mornings are important to role play. Okay. Now, when you're role playing, we're not role playing everything at once. You know, we're going to do it piece by piece. So the goal during week 1 is to, you want to master the first half of your presentation. And that's pretty much it. I always say, I would rather you be 100% good at 50% of the presentation, week 1. I want you to know the first half, but know it 100%. Rather than this, rather than know the whole thing, but know that kind of 50%, you know? So we start there, knock out the first half and just master and go over and over it. But the first half has pieces. So then you want to, you know, take it the first, you know, beginning of your presentation, the no cost benefits. So like day 1 was today, really. There's no role playing today. But tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning this week, we will be role playing together. And you'll be role playing, your manager will be checking in, you'll be putting it on film, okay? What you're gonna wanna do is start out tomorrow doing about 10 to 25 of the percent of the presentation. That's where you wanna start out at. So that is basically logging on to the Zoom, if it's a Zoom call, and hey, you know, hi, my name's Tom Bean with American. Nice to meet you, Joe. Nice to meet you, Mary. You know, here's my identification. Here's some information about our company. You guys, this from what area? Oh, I noticed you're from, you know, South Chicago area. Is that where you guys normally grew? Is that where you grow up? Where'd you guys meet before? Oh, okay, so you moved here for her. Oh, you must have been. I bet you he was probably chasing you all around town. You know, I'm joking with him a little bit. One of the best questions to ask during rapport building is, how did you guys meet? Who hit on who first? That's what I want to know that one, right? So you could drop that on them. But you build rapport with people. Okay, there's 5 rapport building questions. Then after that, you got to let them know, okay, Joseph, here's why we're here today. Your president, John Smith, contracted with our company, American Income Life, to make sure that you and all of your members had your guaranteed benefits and all of your no-cost benefits. So the problem is people have life insurance. The problem is, you know, when you work for a company, the companies set up benefits for all their employees. Most companies do. And while you work for that company, you have benefits. But what typically happens when you leave a company? What typically happens to those benefits you have? You quit, get fired, or retire. Yeah, that's right, Joe, Mary, they go away. That was one of the biggest problems and concerns that they were running into. And that's why your president, as well as all the other organizations, work with 40,000 different other unions, credit unions, associations, the police, the firefighters, teachers, nurses, carpenters, Teamsters. We work with all these organizations and we provide them with all of their guaranteed permanent life benefits. Okay. So that was one of the biggest problems that they have. So now, if the members quit, get fired, or retire, they'll have guaranteed permanent benefits forever. So Joe, that's why we're out here today, and we'll be able to go over those options for you and your family. And if it makes sense, we'll make sure we get your. It's important that we make sure we get your American Income Life paperwork fill out for your life benefits as well. So you probably never really heard of the company American Income Life. We don't advertise. There's no billboards, TVs, commercials, radio advertisements. That's because what they found is they found that there's a lot of these big name companies, big name insurance carriers out there. There's insurance companies. You know what those insurance companies do? They have these billion-dollar advertisement campaigns. Like some of them have like different critters. You see all these different critters now. They're coming up with the craziest things out there. I've seen like an emu or something like that. I never even heard of an emu until I saw that commercial. Did you guys see the emu commercial? You probably saw you saw the Geico one, right? They have a gecko. You saw the Aflac one. There's a what's a Aflac? They use a duck, right? There's a gecko. There's a duck, and now the new one I think was an emu. There's a fox. You see the fox? Car fox.
That's Carfax.
Yeah, there's foxes. There's got foxes. Everybody and who's really paying for the Super Bowl commercials? Yeah, where do you think those companies are getting that money to put their logo on the side of a NASCAR? Yeah, right. So basically we're paying for all that, right? So what our company did is they took all that money that other companies waste on advertising and they actually put it right back into our programs for all of our members. And that's why we work with the organization and all the other 40,000 different organizations that we've been servicing for the past 40 years, because they know they're getting the best at the best value with our organization. So, and I just go back into it. So here's a little bit about our company. And I press play, and then a video plays, and it tells them about American Income. If it was a policy holder, like let's say you had a policy with our company and I was just meeting with you to upgrade stuff, I would say, so you probably never seen a commercial for your life insurance company. And that's because we don't advertise. We don't spend any money on commercials, billboards, TVs, radio advertisers. You never see any. And that's because we take that money that other companies waste on advertising, we can put them right back into our programs. That's how you're able to take advantage of the benefits that you have for your family right now. Basically, the best life insurance that you could have on planet Earth, you have it for your family, and you're protecting your family with it. And it's at the best absolute value that you can have. So, but this is going to tell you about our company, and then about your life insurance company. Then I'll press play. And I'll play them. I'll say, you probably never seen a commercial for us because we don't advertise. So I say, this is the closest thing you're ever going to see to a commercial at all. Okay. And I play the opening video. But, then after you play the opening video, then you go over their benefits with them, their first nose clot benefit, their AD&D certificate, maybe child safe kit, family information guide, the AIL plus card, and you got to break all that down. At the end of those no cost benefits, then we transition into the second half of the presentation, and that's where we go over the difference in whole life and term with them. That's next week type of stuff. This week, we want to stop right there. So all morning, you're going to practice that, but the first day, you might only just get up into, the rapport building, and you just get really good at doing that. And then your boss manager watches with you Tuesday morning, okay? So that's the first thing. Week 2, we're going to just go into the second half. By the end of week 2, you should be able to do the whole entire script now, front to back. All right. What do we do in the afternoons now? So training class for the next 2 weeks in the morning is role play. We went over role play pretty good there. The second thing we're going to go over in the afternoons now is class. That's going to be formal information being trained to us that is important to know, to where if you don't get the information, it's gonna basically You can't say that nobody told me so. Nobody told me. Nobody told me this. Oh, I didn't know this. Well, if you sit in training class and you take notes for the next 2 weeks, everything that you need to know is going to be in those notes, and you'll be able to refer back to them if you ever get stuck 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 months from now. 6 months from now, you could be like, just go back to training, and it's probably something that we went over in this training class this afternoon, you know? So definitely have some good notes ready to be taken during this portion. And then in the evenings, when you get out of training class, that's when you're going to work with your manager and either be on the phones or be in the field. So you'll be either setting appointments or seeing appointments. That's what our evenings will be filled with. So Monday, schedule-wise, Monday we set appointments for Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, we set appointments for Friday, Saturday. So when you get out of class today, since today's Monday, and you meet with your manager, you're mostly going to be phones, training phones, learning how to set up a schedule. Tomorrow, when you get out of class, Wednesday, when you get out of class, will be what? Going to meet with our clients, but you'll be with the manager and hope, because tonight you're setting appointments. So hopefully you guys get a big schedule set up for Tuesday night, big schedule set up for Wednesday night. So Tuesday, when you get out of this class, you're going to be all fired up. You get out of this class, you go hook up with your manager, you and your manager go run your appointments that you just booked the night before. You have a nice schedule to run tonight. And then tomorrow night, same type of thing. Or I'm saying Wednesday night, the same type of thing. Thursday, we'll be back in the office, training class afternoon. Nighttime, we'll be setting appointments for Friday and Saturday. So that's the schedule for the next few weeks, okay? Role play in the morning, class in the afternoon, and then clients at night, either setting or seeing appointments. Now, during that time at night, that's obviously where you don't want to be watching Tiger Woods the whole time. You want to stay, hey, let me get the club. Hey, can I shoot a couple? Right? You want to start participating. So the whole goal would be whatever you practiced in the morning that day, like for instance, tomorrow's Tuesday, whatever you role played on Tuesday, you went over it all morning. Like I went over it all morning. Then I watched it with my manager. So I feel pretty comfortable that tonight, when I sit down with these clients, I can do that portion of the presentation, you know? And your manager will let you know how ready you are too. But on Wednesday, you role played 35% of the presentation. So Wednesday night, when we're in the house, you're going to do 35% of the presentation. Friday, Saturday, now you did a 50%. Now Friday, Saturday, you can do 50% in the home. It's nice because whatever you role play in the morning, it's nice because you're going to do it at night, and we already went over it all morning. So it's like, hey, we just practiced this all morning. So you know what to do now? Just do what we did this morning. You know, it's kind of like when we would have a football game at night, we'd have walkthroughs in the morning, and we'd have to meet at the field in our shorts, and we would literally walk through. He's like, all right, everybody line up, and we'd have to like line up, and they say, hut. And we would have to walk through and just do all walkthroughs of where you were supposed to be, you know? So it's kind of the same concept for here. In the morning, you're going to do your walkthroughs, and at night, you're actually going to go, you know, play the game. Okay. Now, at the end of these 2 weeks, we should be trained up to where you are comfortable enough to give a presentation from front to back. And in order to get off on your own, you have to we have to make sure that you have done at least two sales on your own before you're able to get out there and start seeing clients. If you've never done it on your own, how much confidence are you going to have to go do it? 100%. You know, like if I never shot a free throw in my life, no, I never made a free throw in my life. And now I have to go out there and take 10 free throw shots and make a couple. I'm not going to have much confidence in my ability to do it. I'm like, I'm gonna be looking at the ball like, I mean, I guess I can put it in the hoop. I'm going to try, but I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can make a free throw. You know how I don't know? I never did it before. I have no physical confirmation that I can do this. But imagine if I made the day before or last week, I went out there and I made it one free throw. One. Versus me, the guy who never made a free throw, and the guy who made one free throw. What's the difference in confidence in that? Like, well, you want to know what? I got a basketball. I made one of these before. I know I can do it again. How? How do I know I can do it? Because I did it before. Do you see how important it is? So that's why 2 sales are absolute must, or else we're just basically just rolling a dice, hoping like maybe it's going to work out, you know? Does that make sense? So that's really important, guys. And we make sure that, you know, over these next 2 weeks, piece by piece, we're going to slowly get you, hopefully not too slow. You know, slow growth is what? No growth. Slow growth is no growth, right? So slow motion, no motion. So we want to make sure that we're growing over the next 2 weeks. And over the next 2 weeks, we get you to a point where you get 2 sales under your belt, you know, on your own, where we go out into the home, I don't say a word. I just sit there the whole time and just watch, take some notes, and you close them down. Then I know you can do it on your own. Okay, so we're going to make sure we get that done. Now, if at the end of these 2 weeks, you're not 100% ready to go out on your own, then we're not going to have you on your own meeting with clients. We're going to make sure that you're ready, and we might have to train you for a 3rd week or a 4th week, God forbid, you know? But we got to make sure we do it the right way, because we only got one chance to start our career up for the first time, you know? And if it takes 1 or 2 extra weeks to train somebody to do it the right way, what is that in comparison to a career? Think how long your career is. 10, 20, 30 years. And we're talking about 1 or 2 weeks. One extra week of training can make all the difference for the next 30 years. Why wouldn't we spend that 1 extra week to do it right versus risking it? So we're a big proponent of do it right, or you're probably going to be doing it over. If you don't have time to do it right, how are you going to have time to do it over? So that's why I'll take the extra time, and we have that philosophy. But we're also, I don't want you to think this is a message where you can come in and take your time now and lollygag and think it's okay to be behind in training. It's not okay to be behind in training. I know everybody moves at different paces, you know, everybody does, right? But there's no reason for us to mentally feel like it's okay. We have to mentally have our foot on the pedal right now, and just, you have to push. We have to push through. These next 2 weeks are like, it's gonna be the first time you ever done this career. So I met with a lady today, and I said that I was telling her, I was like, you have a leg up on normal people to start this business. Normal people, when I say normal people, it's just anybody that I just say someone that's basically worked like the 9 to 5, that's been sort of brainwashed by society to do the whole thing, you know, normal things. Normal people are used to like working 40 hours, getting paid for 40 hours, you know. They work for somebody else. It's 9 to 5. They're home every day. They watch Dancing with the Stars, you know. They get told what to do. They have a boss. There's no risk involved. And on a daily basis, they don't deal with no rejection. They don't deal with no issues. Safe, right? Those people, when they try and come here, it is an eye opener. It's an eye opener. So the thing is most people are not used to being their own boss. Most people are not used to being an entrepreneur, being in business for yourself, being a business owner. Like that whole thing right there, most people are used to being employees versus an employer. So that's a whole mindset, and that's all it is. And that mindset has been drilled into a lot of people for a long time. So that was the concern first we run into. The second concern we run into is, let's go with uh, we get told no. Do you think the person working at Walmart has to deal with rejection?
Yeah.
Nope. They're getting paid whatever they get paid, and nobody's even not. It don't matter if somebody buys something off them, right? And they're not selling nothing. You know, there's no rejection they even got to deal with. Truck drivers, they're not getting dealt with rejection on a daily basis. Their paycheck. So, getting told no, guys. Most people can't handle that. Most. So that's an issue. Being a business owner, getting told no. We work different hours. This is not the 9 to 5. We work different hours. We get paid differently. This is commission. So most people aren't used to the hours, commission, getting told no, being a business owner. And the lady I just met with, she for the last 11 years has owned her own business downtown selling clothes, right? So I said, well, you already know what it's like to be a business owner, because you have to invest a lot into yourself. You have to invest a lot into your business. When you're a business owner, it's your business, right? You take that ownership, you put a lot of time, you're going to put a lot of money, you invest a lot. So she was used to that. She was used to getting told no because she was in sales. She was selling clothes, you know. She was used to the hours. You're a business owner and you have a store. Everybody gets off of work at what? 5. So should you close your shop at 5? No way. That's when all her sales happen. She can't make sales when they're at work. So everybody she'd be having that. And then after sales would close at 9 o'clock, then she'd have to stay there, right? She didn't just walk out the door. She had to clean the place up, put the clothes back, restock, count the money, balance the books, you know, then finally go home. So she was used to the hours and then getting paid. Well, if she didn't make any sales from her store, guess what she got paid? So she was used to being on commission, you know? So I told her, you're in such a good spot. You know, you have a leg up on a lot of people coming into this because you have 11 years of just building calluses on all of that stuff. None of that's going to phase you here. Most people, it takes them a while just to get used to that, you know? So just understanding a couple of those hurdles coming in up front is just, I want you guys to know those too, you know? So anyways, the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to go through training. Once you go through training and you're able to get out on your own and become an agent, okay? So now you're able to be an agent. You're going to have leads, and you're going to be able to call, set your own appointments, collect referrals, and run it up. What's it look like for the next 2 to 3 months after that? So we got the first 2 to 3 weeks down, right? Pretty straightforward. Any questions around the first 2 to 3 weeks, guys, while we're on that?
Is the second week, there's training classes in the second week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're different classes, like compared to the first week?
Yes.
Because they started me out last week, and I've been in sets and sales, and I'm up to like 90%. Well, I go all the way to turning whole now.
Yeah.
Right? And this second week, I'm like starting out right now, like with everyone new. So am I going to have to sit here for the third week into
Yeah.
the next training class?
Today is their first day of training. So whatever you've done up until then is extra.
Okay.
Yep. So you're lucky you got extra training, you know, that's good.
All right.
Yep.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Because you weren't in training class last week. So
I only stepped in for the one with Gio because
Yeah.
he said that he spits fire and I had to listen and take notes.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. So today's your first day of training, regardless of if you did a little bit of extra training last week or, you said whatever. So today's your first day, and then every training class is different. So you want to get the notes from this week, and then you want to get the notes from next week as well. Good question. No. So the next 2 to 3 months, did you guys have any questions? I'm sorry. Chris, did you have a question? It was on mute.
No, I was answering my question.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, if you guys want to hop in, just unmute your things if you want, so I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear though. So, any other questions?
Yeah, obviously, Lauren, well, we can, because in the evenings, we're going to be on calls and setting and seeing. And then the person who we're training with, if they make any sales, we get a cut of that, or how does paid training work? Is there any?
You're going to be with the managers. The managers are going to be making sales, and if you participate at the end, you make the sale, they'll put it under you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And then when you're done, you get, a bunch of leads to run and stuff too. But if I'm training and you're coming in, man, and your stuff, you're on point, and you're helping me make phone calls, we're booking these schedules together, and we go out there and we kill it for the week. I'm like, dude, my guy's been on point. He's helping me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to want to hook you up. I'm going to really, really take care of that guy, Or I have someone who's slacking, doesn't know their stuff. I basically got to hit the ball and drag Charlie type of deal. You ever hear that one? Like me and Charlie play baseball, and it sticks with, I got to hit the ball, and then I got to drag Charlie to first base. I got to hit the ball, drag him to second, hit the ball, drag them all around everywhere I go. You know what I mean? Like, if it's that type of deal, I'm probably not going to be like, oh yeah, I really want to put a bunch of business under him and hook him up. Meanwhile, he doesn't know his shit. He's late, he's not on point, ain't helping me do nothing, right? He's like a bump on a log. If you're a bump on a log, what do you, it's 100% commission sales. The manager's probably not going to be 100% fired up to put a bunch of business under you because they don't have to, but the faster you can learn the business and just get out there and make the sales on your own, the faster you can, start making some money too. It'd be the best answer I could give you there. So my first day here, I was booking appointments. They're like, you can't set appointments your first day. You have to watch. And I was like, all right, I'll watch. And I watched and I was like, this is too easy. And I said, give me that. And I was like, I basically had to argue with them. I was like, just let me make phone calls. I'm not going to sit here and watch this. This is too easy. And I booked like 10 appointments my first call night, So, we went out there and killed it my first few weeks. And, me and my manager split some deals and stuff. So it worked out good. So now after your first 2 to 3 weeks of training, after our first 2 to 3 weeks of training, you're going to go out on your own now. And what does it look like? Well, the first goal that we want to accomplish is, are hitting our first milestone was becoming an agent, right? The second goal that we want to accomplish is hitting our second milestone, which is hitting 100 presentations typically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, typically hitting 100 presentations comes first, and then becoming an SA comes second. But some people did it the other way before. You've seen some people get it faster.
Well,
You could.
To be an SA, you got to have the 100 presentations and the 24K, like you were talking about.
Well, you have to have the 24K.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can hit 100. You could hit 24K without giving 100 presentations.
Gotcha.
And
then when you present the 100, then you're good to.
When you hit 100, that's just your path to get there. When you hit 100 presentations. So your first goal is to give 100 presentations. Why? Because it's going to make you 100% comfortable in what we're doing. Forget becoming an SA and all the numbers and stuff. That's going to help too. And that's another reason when you give your first 100 presentations, that's another reason why you want to give those is because you'll write 30 deals, you make 24,000 LP, you get promoted to a supervisor. Great. But the reason you want to give 100 presentations is because the first presentation that you give on your own, you're going to be 1% comfortable and 99% uncomfortable. Your second presentation you give, You'll be 2% comfortable, 98% uncomfortable and unconfident. Now you give 7, 8, let's say you give 32 presentations, 30 presentations. Well, now you're going to be 70% confident or 30% confident and 70% unconfident. So you see what I'm saying? Every time you do one presentation more, it makes you 1% more comfortable and confident in your presentation. So it takes most people, the magic number is always 100. Once you give 100 presentations, that's when you're going to be 100% comfortable and confident in what we're doing. That makes sense?
Yeah.
And that usually takes about 3 months for someone to do. And in 3 months, you give 100 presentations, you'll make 30 sales. If you make 30 sales at 800 ALP a sale, that's 24,000. And you could also get promoted at kind of like right at the same time. You know, so it's kind of like you become an agent, you give your 100 presentations, get promoted to a supervisor. Like them two kind of happen almost like right at the same time, sort of. So the next move then, guys, is the next 2 to 3 months. And all we focus on these next 2 to 3 months is a run to 100. You know, it's like 0 to 100, like the Drake song, right? So what's he say? You want to go 0 to 100? Real quick. Yeah. So that's what you want to do. You want to get there as fast as possible. Now do the math on that. How long would it take you to give 100 presentations? Well, at 10 per week, it would take you 10 weeks. But at 20 per week, 5 weeks. Think about that. Basically in a month, a whole month will go by and you already hit that mark. And the other person in training class, they still got 2 months to go. They ain't gonna be there till the end of 3 months. You got there in 1 month. That's what I did.
What is the practical limit of like the most presentations you can give in a week? Wait, is it that 20? Like if I wanted to commit.
When I was driving, it was 20 was a push.
Okay.
And that was 7 days a week. So I worked Sunday to get those extra ones in. No driving. I don't know. That's scary to even think about. You know, and I promise you, when I gave those 20 a week, I was running Uniontown. Oh, you don't know what that is. So let me tell you, I lived in Pittsburgh and I lived north of Pittsburgh. Uniontown was an hour and a half south of Pittsburgh, right? How far is Joliet from here? About an hour. Yeah. So it'll be going past Joliet.
Yeah, I'm from Kankakee. That's how far I drive.
How's far Decatur from here?
Ooh.
That's probably like 2 hours.
No, it's further.
Further, like 3?
Further, way further.
Probably 2 or 3.
Decatur's like 2 hours away from me in Kankakee.
Well, that's past Bloomington, right?
Yeah, it's over there.
Bloomfield.
Peoria's like 4 or 5.
Peoria is too far. I'm just trying to find a relatively
I feel like Kankakee's
something that's relative, but I'll just forget the areas. Just say it was an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. So every day I had to drive an hour and a half to 2 hours to the area where all my appointments were at. Then I met all my people all day. And then at night I had to drive back. So there was a good 3 to 4 hours a day of driving. Plus I had to go from this house driving to that house, driving to that house, driving to that house, which was another half hour, 45 minutes in between these appointments, right? So I put 4 hours, 5, 6 hours a day into driving that you don't got to do. That's at least 1 or 2 extra presentations you can slide in a day, right? Now, all the money that I was spending on gas, people don't have to spend on that stuff anymore. Oil changes, car repairs, maintenance. You can have a nice car. Before, you couldn't buy a nice car because you were going to run tons of miles up on this thing, you know? So that's a cool thing about it. I was telling somebody, I was like, so what if you give 10 presentations this week and you spend $10 on DoorDash for each presentation, and you DoorDash them some donuts before the meeting. You DoorDash them a coffee, and it takes you $10 to DoorDash them a coffee, right? It will cost you 10 presentations, cost you $100 a week. That's half of what we put in my gas tank, right? And then you hop on the Zoom. Oh, hey, did you get the coffee I sent you? You like the chai latte, right? Yeah, good, nice. I got one too, man. Cheers. Like, who is this person? I've never met anybody like this before. I'm intrigued. I'm buying whatever this guy's selling.
That's huge.
I'm buying them. I'm buying this guy.
I was already thinking about that. It's like, because when I was studying for the insurance test, it's like you can't induce your clients to buy insurance. I was like, well, buying them coffee considered rebating?
Nope. No. Remember, donuts prevent donuts. Remember that. Yep. So when I was in the field on Saturdays, the number one rule was have an 8 a.m. appointment on Saturday and show up with donuts in your hand, right? I will buy 24 donuts, and I will put 4 boxes of 6, 6 packs. And I'd show up to my first 4 appointments on Saturday with a smile and donuts. How are they gonna get mad at you for that? Hey, they open the door like, and they see big thing like donuts right there, right? So if you bring donuts to the client, at the end of the day, when you have to report your numbers, you're not going to report a bunch of donuts. Donuts prevent donuts, right? So you can DoorDash them some donuts. You could DoorDash them some coffee before your appointment. You could even tell them like, hey, for our appointment, I'm going to make sure we have some coffee. Okay, since we can't meet in person, I'm going to virtually have some coffee sent over to you. What do you like to drink? Right? And now they're not going to no-show you. Hey, make sure you're there because the coffee is going to be there at like 1:50. Our appointment's at 2 o'clock. All right, man. So that's just a side idea. That's what I would do to turn that stuff to the next level. And you want to make some professional income. Let's think about what would a professional do? How can a professional take it to a next level? What kind of preparation does a professional put into this stuff? Professional preparation provides professional paycheck. So if you put that extra preparation like a professional would, then at the end of the month or a week or year, or whatever, you can look down and that's where you get the professional paycheck. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. I say professional preparation provides a professional paycheck. Yep. Keep going with the P's all day. The 5 P's of preparation. Yeah, I'm from Pittsburgh. So the first 3 months is what we were talking about, right? I'm just thinking, is there anything else to touch on in those first 3 months? No, I'll tell you that after your first 3 months, you will feel it in your bones. You'll feel like, you'll be able to feel like there's nothing that you haven't seen at that point. You feel so much more confident. But you have to give 100. I promise. Even if you give 98, you're not at 100. It might be that literally it's probably 100 presentations that you needed for you. You're just at that person that it's going to click on 100 for you. It might click on 100. That's why you got to give it all 100. And then at the end of them, you feel a lot better. If you quit before you give 100 presentations, I got news for you. You didn't quit. Because the thing is, you don't get started in this business until you hit 100 presentations. So like if you think you started your new career yet, you didn't. Your career didn't start yet. You didn't even make it through the first day of training. Your career starts when you hit your 100 presentations. I swear, if you quit before that, you never even gave yourself a chance. So you can say, I quit. I say, well, you ain't quitting nothing, bro. You didn't even start. And just remember, quitters never win. Winners never quit. Right? You got to make that commitment. My son had one rule when he wanted to play wrestling, right? I said, there's only one rule. We put it on the board. If you look in and I have a 6-year-old kid that wants to wrestle. 6-year-old kid, 6. He's a boy. He's like a little boy. He wants to play with trucks and stuff, but he wants to go wrestle, right? Wrestling's not a joke. Wrestling, the goal, it's crazy. You know what they teach the kids in wrestling? They say, take their head and smash it into their mat. Not the front they take the back of their head and they smash their face into the mat. That's what they teach the kids. So my son had to grow up pretty quick in this, but he had to learn one thing. We put on that's how I trained him. I trained my son, 6 years old. I said, is all you do. I don't care what happens. You fight till the end of every single match. You don't, in the middle of a match, you don't cry. In the middle of a match, you don't quit. You fight till the end. And it goes like this. I never quit. That's the only rule we have, son. We don't quit. You don't quit. You're not allowed to quit. You're not allowed to quit. That's the only rule. You got it? And before we go into every match, I tell them, you know the number one rule. You don't quit. You don't quit until the very, 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 very end. And it's over. Oh, and it's over. But until then, you're going to fight and fight and fight. Dude, I swear it worked. It worked. It worked. Because there was one match, man, where he was getting his butt kicked. Butt kicked. I swear. He was losing 8-0. 8-0. And there was no time left. And at the very end, he got this kid down. And he was able to get the half Nelson in on the kid. And the kid wasn't letting him roll him over. And Tommy just kept working it. And like, there's like 10 seconds to go in the match. And they were like dying. He was able to flip the kid over. And the ref ran over. And there's like, I swear the clock was ticking down. Ref's looking. Boom. Pinned him with like no time left on the clock. If that didn't happen, Tommy would have lost 8-0. Because in wrestling, you're losing 8-0. Last round, the only way to catch up is to score 9 points. How are you going to score 9 points in the last round? You could, but the easier way to do it is just to pin the kid and you automatically win. So he didn't quit, and I played a video for him. Now what I do when he has to go wrestle, I have that, and I have a highlight of all the times he did good, and I make him watch his highlight video before he goes and plays, because his brain doesn't know if he did it or not, and he starts to relive those memories. So that's what I encourage you guys to do before you go make a sale. Think about the last sale that you made, and that'll help you a lot too. So anyways, that was my son's role. We just never quit, So we have a saying. It says, lose, learn, earn, never quit. Lose, learn, earn, never quit. Lose, learn, earn, never quit. First you learn, then you remove the L. You ever hear that one? First you learn, then you remove the L. If you remove the L, what's it say? Earn, right? So for wrestling, my son wanted to earn a championship, right? But in order to earn a championship, he had to what? Before you earn, what do? You had to learn. So he had to learn. And do you learn more in victory and more in failure? So guess what he had to do? He had to lose. Lose, learn, earn. Nobody likes to lose. But unfortunately, that's when you learn, So that's why that was our saying in wrestling. And that's the thing I had to teach my son, is when he lost, he's like, I lost, Dad. I was like, son, you don't lose in wrestling. You learn.
Whatever you learn.
You don't lose, you learn. So you got to apply that to business, guys. We got to apply that. Here, if you have a bad day, if you didn't make the sale, the only time you lose is if you don't learn. That's when you lose. So take those opportunities when you get, a loss, and learn from it, so that you can start to get better, and then eventually you'll be able to, because like they say, oh man, you deserve that, Tommy. Like people will tell me that, it's hard for me to think like, yeah, like one gentleman, he was like, that house, I'm getting a nice house. He's like, you getting a house? Yeah. Does it feel good that you feel like you deserve it? Or no, they said something like, they said, oh, that's good, man. You deserve it. You deserve it. You worked your butt off for the last 16 years. I'll be 38 this year. I've been doing this shit since I was 21, running circles around people for the last 16 years. It's not like I was here for 16 years and I just was just here. I was here for 16 years doing this business at the highest level you could possibly do it at. You know how many people I've met with? Way more people than everybody else with the company. Interviewed, trained, developed, sold, applications filled out, traveled, offices opened up, not just in one state, all over the place. So, anyways, what was I talking about?
2-3 months.
2 to 3 months.
Lose.
2 to 3 months, lose that. Yeah. I was something I wanted to mention to you about that. Yeah, the experience that I had. We'll just keep it moving. I want to go into all that. That's a whole nother tangent I could probably stand here and talk to you guys about which is good. It's stories and stuff, but I want to make sure I give you guys some just like some actual stuff we could take some notes on today as well. So, what time is it? What we can do is we're gonna go into the second half of training right now. The first half of the training class was just getting you guys ready for the first 2 to 3 weeks, first 2 to 3 months, and then really over the next 2 to 3 years, if I could give it to you at a glance, is within your first year, you can run up to, an essay. And by the end of your first year, you could be a GA. And that will be a pretty decent place to be by the end of your first year. And then by the end of your second year, an MGA. And when you're an MGA, the MGAs are making $5,000-$6,000 a week. So that could be your first year, your second year. That would be your third year in the business. You'd be an MGA for that year. But that would be pretty average rate if you move there. It's not too fast, not too slow. You can do that without blowing a gasket or pulling a muscle or something. I did it in 8 months to become an MGA. So you can start right now. And that's why I'm telling you guys this, because there's nothing that can stop you. There's nothing physically able to stop you. I want you to know that. There's nothing physically able that can possibly stop you right now. There's nothing that will stop you if you wanted to and do the work that you could be an MGA by the end of this year. I did it in 8 months, and last time I checked, there's 10 months left in this year. So why would I tell you that, I'm going to tell you the averages because I have to, really about 2 years if you stick at the pace. It takes you 3-6 months to become an SA, another 3 to 6 months to be a GA, and then like a whole nother year to be an MGA. That's 2 years from now. We're sitting here and you're getting your MGA promotion, man. You deserve it. You earned it. You got your stripes. You put in the work. You got the experience, right? And I'll tell you, that is an amazing place to be, because at that point for the rest of your life, you'd be never making less than $200,000. 2 years from now, I don't know anywhere else in the world we can go that 2 years from now, that's even a possibility. Where are they even teaching you to do that shit? The person who's making 200,000 ain't telling nobody nothing because he don't want them to take their job, right? We're trying to get as many people there as possible. So 2 years from now, if that is you, that's kind of long to get there, but that's still not that bad is the whole point. It's still not that bad. And I remember when I came in, I was so hungry, what does it say? PhD, pretty hungry and desperate, that's me coming in. I would have did whatever. Like I would have shined your shoes. I would have stayed in the office overnight. You told me I couldn't like eat for 3 days. I would fast. I don't know whatever you could tell me that. It was to the point of this. I was so desperate to grow and be successful, to become an MGA. Like I told myself, I was like, if they told you that you had to go to China and work on a barge for a year and just shovel garbage for a year, in fact, 2 years, and you couldn't see your family or talk to anybody, and you had to do it for 16 hours a day. I'll shovel garbage for 2 years for 16 hours a day on a barge in China, and I won't see my family for 2 years. I won't even look at them or talk to them or call them. And I'll just tell them, I'll be back in 2 years, fam. And when I come back, you could pay me $200,000 for the rest of my life. I would do it.
Done.
I'd sign up and do it. I would be that person. I would sacrifice myself, my time for 2 years for the rest of my entire family's life to live like that. That's how desperate I was. So when you told me I didn't have to do that and I could just work here and have fun and win contests and compete and help people and build business and bring other people in and work with people and do the right things and learn and get better and become a better person mentally, spiritually, and physically, and then help other people do the same thing, and now I'll get paid $200,000 for that, I'd definitely do that. That's a lot better than the bars in China. So that was the mentality, when I was coming in. I just really wanted to get to an MGA. So that's why it took me 8 months, because I didn't care about anything else. Like, you couldn't even talk to me about anything else. It wasn't me, anything that had regarding me becoming an MGA, I disregarded it. So I feel like with the right people, and we got a lot of the right moves to make right now, and a lot of the foundations built. It's way better. When I came in 12 years ago, I became an MGA in 8 months, 12 years ago, and way better now than it was then. Right? I couldn't recruit virtually. There was no Facebook. There was no Instagram when I came in. There wasn't. I mean, there was, but there wasn't. And I didn't use it. So, and I had to recruit people in the office, and they had to be from my city, and they'd be here physically. Now I can recruit virtually all over the world, all over the country. I'm sorry. I would have my team put together pretty quickly, right? But we will take exactly 1 hour, okay, and do the second half of training. Okay, today we're supposed to go training till 4. All right. So I want to give us a decent little break here. So we could say, let's take a 15-minute break, which will put us at 2:55. Is that what you guys got on your calendars? Everybody got 2:55. So and then we could get in here at 2:55 if we can do that, guys. Does that give everybody a thumbs up on that? Or want it? Yep, good. Is that cool? Tasha? Thumbs up. What's the little guy's name?
Alex,
Alex, give me a thumbs up, dude.
you can do thumbs up. Good job.
Yeah, he even got it. All right, Alex. Well, we will see you guys back at 2:55. Have your pencils sharpened. We're going to be going over some fun numbers. We're going to do it fun with numbers today, kids. Tell Alex he could hop on too. All right, appreciate you guys. I'll see you back in 15 minutes right back here. Cool?
convinced him after my interview. He's like, just throw away that resume.
Yeah, that's good advice there. Job stand, you know, they say job stands for just over broke. Just
Yeah,
over broke.
I haven't heard that before, but that's accurate.
Yeah, jobs kind of get you from point A to point B, you know, short term. You know, career is long term. So an ideal career should last you for how long?
Rest of your life, 20
Until
years.
you retire.
Till you retire. Yeah. You know, someone said till the rest, you know, for the rest of your life.
I don't work for us.
I was like, I don't know. I don't want to work for the rest of my life. That doesn't sound like the best career to me, you know, but until it gets you to retirement and it gets you to a big retirement and it gets you there early. That's a good career to have, you know. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. They got to blast it down here.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, if I need some electrical work, can you help me come in?
So we should have like a whole training on virtual world, like how to be the most successful running a virtual schedule from your house. And I would put on that list, I would put music. I say, you can't just wake up and go, you got to get some music going. So if I was living in my house, you know, and let's say one day, guys, you guys get snowed in and you can't come to the office for the day or something, right? And you have to work from home. Well, good news, we can do that now. And I would still play some music in my house because music just does something. It's the vibe. You know, notice how every time you come in here, it'll be music playing. It's like number one rule as soon as we get an office is like, you got to get some music going. And also the first thing we did is planned out like where the reception desk was going to be, you know, where the meeting room was going to be. And like right on that list up there was like, where's the DJ booth going to go? Right. Because we always want to have music playing. So anyways, take that home with you guys virtually, get some music in your house and in your office, even playing low in the background when you're making phone calls. Okay. In between meetings, have some music playing, have it out there in the hallway. When you leave your office, there's music playing out there when you go to the bathroom and in the kitchen and stuff. One thing I noticed is that a lot of people, like my household, I'll come home and the TV will be on, right? And the TV was on at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning when the kids woke up and it was on, right? Then all day it was just on. No one was watching it, but it was on. Then they went downstairs and they came back up. They were having lunch, but the TV was on, you know, right? And they're playing with the toys, but the TV's on. And it's just on. It's just like this like extra static of just light and stuff flashing and sound that's like entering into the atmosphere that for no reason at all, right? So I notice how what I'll do is I'll turn the TV off, right? Just turn the TV off and I'll put music on. And it's such a better atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
Such a better atmosphere, you know? So just a little side note for the virtual people, I would keep that in mind, right? Hopefully you guys can see the board here and hopefully this marker is going to be working pretty well. You know what I'll do maybe is this will cut down on some reflection, hopefully. Okay, so we're going to go over today numbers. All right, so get ready to write and add, take some notes. Brian, can you hear us, Brian? Looked like your camera wasn't working. Just want to make sure you're good to go. Okay, you see us? All right, so we're going to start out now. We're going to just say, as an agent, okay, you have 10 presentations that you give. How many people will enroll? 3. And if 3 enroll, they're going to enroll at 800 ALP. For people on the screen, I'll try and write bigger actually. So 800 ALP. And that's going to equal, right? What's that equal? 2,400 ALP. that make sense? Okay. I'm gonna be turning around, so pardon my back on the screen and everything as I write on the board a little bit here. 2,400. Okay. So let's talk about, first of all, how we get compensated as an agent. All right. So instead of using 2,400, let's just use 2,000 to keep it simple. We'll use 2,000 ALP to keep it simple. All right. So we get paid two ways on a weekly basis. The first way we get paid is our commission. Our commission. So number one is what? Commission. Well, the way the commission works is whatever percentage contract you're at, that's your commission level. So when we start out as an agent, we start out at 60%, and then you can get promoted to an SA at 62.5, a GA at 67.5, an MGA at 75, and an RGA at 80. And there's more opportunity above that. When you start out, though, you actually, for your first 45 days or so, you start out at a 50% contract, and they give you a 75% advance. But after 45 days, you switch to a 60% contract and a 65% advance. So for today's sake, we're just going to talk about what happens after your first 45 days. Just because the first 45 days is going to be like this, and then we got, this is where it's all going to be. So we're going to talk about after your first 45 days, the agent contract is what? 60%. So what we do is we take the ALP that we do for the week and you multiply it by your contract level.
Hey, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I know you're running and gunning.
Yes.
You got kids in the background. Okay. So the deal under Jeremy didn't get sent just yet. I just sent a group text between you, Jackie.
Is it uploaded?
Yeah, it's good to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I just want to make sure you said till 3:30.
3:30, yeah.
I'm a little worried.
What time is it? Okay.
It's 3 or 6.
Yeah.
Should I just maybe call Jackie, see if she can just-
Call her, yeah. Oh, anyone uploading any, she just texted me that. Send Jeremy. Anybody else?
No, it's really just Jeremy though.
I thought there was another one, or that already got sent. For
Yeah,
Henry?
Henry got sent, and then Amira is a paper app.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Take some good notes. This man's the man. Okay.
Got that handled. All righty. So now 2,000 is what you did for the week. So, what do you get paid on what you write? Whatever contract level you're at. So you do 2,000. We'll actually, we'll just put it right here. You'll do 2,000 ALP times 60%. That's right. So your commission equals $1,200. $1,200 is the commission. And what we get now on our commission on a weekly basis is we get advance on commission 65%. So this week we earn $1,200. They're going to give us 65% of that up front. They're going to hold 35% of that in the back end. So the way this would work in this situation is 65% of 1,200 is our what? Advance, right, on commission. And the advance on commission would equal $780. So you made 1,200. We made 1,200 for the week, but we got paid 780. So what they did is they held now. How much? How much did we not get? What do they owe us? $420 is going to be held now, and that's going to be paid out. Think about this now. They advanced us 65% and paid us 780 this week in the front end. So they're going to give us this $420 in the back end, right? When the client pays their premiums every month, right? After they pay about 9 months, that's when you start to see this extra money right here, this money, the rest of your money get paid out to you. A lot of times I just like to just keep it simple. So what I say is after 9 months, you sign someone up today, you get paid today, right? After 9 months, when the client pays month 10, 11, and 12, that's when they give you this money broken down, right? That makes sense? That's where they give you the rest of your commission. At the end of the 12 months, the first year of that policy being in place, you get paid all your commissions. And now they keep paying every month, and they pay what? What's after 12? 13. Now you're going to get paid in the 13th month too. That's not going to be a commission though. That's going to be your renewal. Soon as the policy for 1 year, now you get paid every single month. 13, and after that, 14, 15, 28, 37, 146. Every single month that client makes a payment, you're going to get paid again and again, portion of what that client pays. Make sense? It starts out when you're an agent at 3%, and then it goes up over time when you get promotions and when you earn, see this number right here? And you get contract increases. When your 60% goes up, guess what also goes up? The percentage of renewals that you earn goes up. If you could go from 3 to 4%, you just increase your renewals by 33%, right? And when you get promoted to an SA, that's what happens, right? I mean, think about that. I don't know where you can go and give yourself a 33% raise within the first 3 months of being there. That's forever. So, first of all, does this make sense so far? This is our commission. Every single week this happens. So every single week you're gonna see clients, right? And then some of them are gonna enroll, 3 of them will enroll, and then they're gonna enroll at different rates. Some clients may enroll at $20 a month. Some clients may enroll at $120 a month. Everybody can enroll at different rates. Some clients enroll at $246 a month. And that's not a big deal, because if you go to AT&T, the dude right behind AT&T is 18 years old, 19 years old, right? And he's like, okay, yep, sure, no problem. Sally, you want to get the phone plan? We'll get you the iPhone. Your daughter wants the iPhone. Okay, your husband? Perfect. So you all 3 of you guys had the iPhone? Perfect. That's, yep. And then you want the, whatever, all this packages they put on it. Okay, great. That's $220 a month. Got you a great plan. Normally it'd be $280, but I can work this in right here. I can get you into the plan for $220 with the special that they have going on right now. Okay, sure. No problem. Do you think they rebuttal them? Oh, I want to think about it. I can't afford it. There's no option. You know, right now there's a 19-year-old kid across the street, probably with earrings in. you know, looking at a lady, telling her it's $220 a month, and he don't even think twice about it. Right? So we do enrollments to help people protect their family. Here's the thing here. I was at AT&T. I was at, no, maybe it was Xfinity. Who's Xfinity? Comcast? Yeah. When I moved here, they're like, in order for the internet to work at your house, you have to come to the store and pick up this device. Then you have to go to your house and plug it in. I'm like, this don't make sense. Aren't you supposed to do that? I lived there. They said, nope, that's how you do it, sir. So me, like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I literally did it because everybody's working, nobody's there. I need the internet. That's like a big part of my business. So unfortunately, I had to do this. I did it. I go to the store. I talk to the people, right? And I'm in there, and the guy goes, well, you know, what do you know about the stock market? Because the stock market was on the screen. I'm like, I know a lot about it. I used to be in the stock market. And here's what I know about it is if you're in the stock market, you know the best thing to do? Get out of the stock market. So, yeah, that's what I knew about it. You know, especially if you're in any crazy financial products that were basically just hitting you with fees and all kind of stuff going on. You know, listen to Tony Robbins, Money Master the Game, who opened your eyes up on a lot of different things, mutual funds and all kind of stuff, which is stuff that I already knew. But I was telling people, it was Tony Robbins, Money Master the Game. But I was selling people mutual funds. I was selling them in any retirement account you can think of. I set up companies with 401ks. You know, I set up IRAs, Roth IRAs, simple IRAs, SEP plans. I sold exchange traded funds, stocks. I even messed around on pink sheets, bought some pink sheet stocks, which are penny stocks, you know, and I did everything, you know, annuities, variable universal policies, term policies, whole life policies, you know, group policies for companies. I met with a company, put a group policy in place for them, you know, pretty much, you know, seen all that. But anyways, the point of it is I told the people at the store, they're like, so what do you do? And I was like, well, let me ask you this. Here, when somebody comes and signs up for their cable package, because it's Xfinity. So Xfinity is what? Cable and internet, right? I said, what's the average client pay here? I don't know. He was like, and he's like, okay, guys, can you hear me? Yes. All right. If it cuts out again, I'm going to switch over to my hotspot as a little backup. All right, but we'll keep it moving. So I told the guy, I said, you know, your client passes away, you pay, and your family only 200. If my clients are paying 220 a month, they pass away thousands of dollars, right? So that's the difference. And I had to kind of break it down for the guy like that, you know. But the whole point is throughout the week, don't be shy about showing somebody $400 a month to protect their family. Because the guy across the street ain't shy to show them $400 a month for their phone bill. You know, my phone bill's $400 and some dollars a month right now. Promise you. I mean, I don't know how to show it or prove it to you, but just take my word. It was like $460 a month last month. But he told me if I go over there and tell him I work for American Income Life, we get a discount. So I don't know if you guys know that. But yeah, I think I should find the code or something. I'll post it in the group, but we get a discount, AT&T for sure, American Income Life discount. So I'm going to go over there, and he said I'll go from 460 down to like 405 or something like that. He can hook me up with, right? So I'll take it. But I just haven't had time to go over there. My dad keeps messaging me. Did you go over there yet? I'm like, Dad, I don't got no time to go to AT&T stores, you know. But I'm going to find my way over there eventually. Now, so this is what you did. Saw 10, 3 enrolled. We don't know which 3 enroll. The one you think is going to enroll, don't enroll. The two that you didn't think were even going to be there, those are there and those enroll. It's never going to be the people you think or the way it works out. And here's the worst part about it is not the 3 yeses, but the 7 no's. You know, how many no's did you get? 7. How many yeses did we get? 3. Well, that means we got told no twice as much as you're getting told yes. Like getting told no every now and then is tough enough to deal with. You know, getting told no on a consistent basis, you know, and getting told no twice at the rate that I'm getting any success, that's not that easy for most people to understand or handle mentally and emotionally. But it definitely is helpful if I'm explained to this up front. If somebody explained this to me up front and says, hey, Tommy, look, don't get frustrated, okay? The best of the best are like doing like 5 out of 10, like 4 out of 10, you know? So, you know, the average people are doing 3. So if you come in and you're only doing 3 out of 10, don't be too upset, man. You know what I'm saying? But keep in mind, you're going to get probably 7 no's to get 3 yeses. So just be okay with it up front, understand it. And even though, you know, we'll never really be okay with it. We never should be okay with making 3 out of 10, because if we can make 10 out of 10, we're going to always be striving to get that. Just having that understanding up front is going to help you mentally not drive yourself crazy or you're getting your own feelings. And because before you know it, you know, you start thinking they're saying no to you. And that's something that you got to learn. They're not saying no to you. They're just saying no to what you are offering to them at that point, right? But no's are tickets to me, you know, and it takes 2 tickets to get a yes, right? So, you know, you need to go out there and get tickets, put them in your pockets, right? And then you can cash those tickets in for yeses, because you know it's going to take you 2 no's to get a yes. So you almost get thankful for them when you start to understand it. Like, it's almost crazy how the person who hated no's and was like scared of them now can't wait to get out there and just let it rip, you know, let it rip. I need them. Give me a couple of no's. No, thank you, sir. I appreciated that. In fact, I need you, and I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate your time. No, thank you for that. No, because I actually got to go find myself one more no. So I'm going to go find that other no so then I can start cashing some yeses, right? And then the guy's like, oh, yeah, go screw yourself. Thank you, sir. I'm going to go screw myself. I appreciate that very much. Okay. I needed that because I need 2 more don't screw yourselves to go get another yes, you know? So, you know, you start to almost flip it on you and people think that you're nuts now. Like, why is he so happy? He just got told no, right? And that's the way, but everybody goes through that. So just knowing up front helps understand this. So back over here to the numbers. I mean, we're sitting over here at 10 and 3, right? So 800 per sale. We already talked about the ALP per sale, right? Just remember AT&T kids over there are charging $220 a month for people without blinking an eye, okay? And they don't give them nothing what we give them for. We give value. Their money will go a lot longer here than it ever can go there. Then that's 2,400, but instead of using 2,400 guys, we're only going to use 2,000. So really whatever number we come up with from this point forward is already lower than anything it really should be. That makes sense? All right, cool. So now we said the first way we get paid is our commission. Our commission is what? 60% starting out. So 60% commission, what did we earn this week? We earned $1,200, right? Out of that $1,200 that we earned, they advanced us 65%. So they give us $780, boom, that week. When the client pays now 9 months, then they're going to release us the other 35%, which was $420 over 10, 11, and 12. And then that will be the total commission all paid out. Question.
So basically, if we stick around with this job for a year, like once we're here for a year, that's when there'll be that noticeable change in income.
Big time. Yep. Because now you're going to be getting this money released to you, and you're also going to be getting a renewal check, right? So some people on the renewal checks have one line on it, and that's just the release money. Then some people, after they're here for a year, they got one line that shows their release money. Then they got another line that shows their renewals. And then that starts stacking up. Yeah, good question on that. And what was I going to add to this? That's pretty much it for that. That's pretty much it for that. So we'll stick with the 780 now. That's paid one. Now we also get paid a second way on a weekly basis. So if I did 2,000 ALP for the week, the second way I'm going to get paid is my bonus. Bonus. No, renewals, they get paid monthly. Once a month, they get paid out. And that's extra. Well, I never even include that in none of the income or nothing. We always just say that's extra, you know. So bonus now is like a sliding scale. See, the more production that you do over the course of a month, the bigger a bonus that you're going to get. So the easiest way I could describe it would be just telling you guys the cheat sheet. Okay, so here's your cheat sheet for bonus. You're going to want to write this down. The cheat sheet for the bonus. If you do 4,000 ALP for a month, in fact, I'm going to write this a little bigger. How about that? Write this a little bit bigger. So here's the cheat sheet for your bonus. This is on a monthly basis for the whole month. If the entire month goes by, and for the month you have 4,000 ALP, your bonus is going to be $320. If you have 6,000 ALP, your bonus will be $610. 8,000 ALP, your monthly bonus will be $940. If this month you did 10,000 for the month, your bonus will be $1,300. If your bonus is if you do 12,000, your bonus will be $1,660. Now, once you hit 12,000 for a month, any piece of business that you produce over that, they're going to give us a 20% bonus on that ALP. So if I'm at 12,000 for the month, my bonus is what? 1,660, right? And now let's just say that I do another 1,000 ALP this month, right? Off of that 1,000 ALP, I'm going to get a 20% bonus on. So which is how much? 200. So for every 1,000 ALP that I do over 12, my bonus goes up by $200. It's the easiest way to think about it. Because somebody might say, well, what if I did 15,000? You could figure that out pretty quickly, right? What would it be?
300.
If we did 15,000, well, first of all, my bonus for doing the first 12,000 would be what? 1660. And I'm going to go from 12,000 to 15,000. Right? Well, every 1,000 that I do over 12, I get a 20% bonus on. So for every 1,000 that I do over 12, I get 20%. Well, 20% is how much? 200. And I did how much over 12? 3,000 over 12. So 3 times 200 would be 600. And I already have 1660 was already there. So I made 1660 and I would get an additional 600. So my total bonus will be 2260 for the month. Hope I didn't confuse you, but that's what would happen. Let's just say that I wrote 8,000 this month. What would my bonus be for this month? 940, right? All right, let's stay there for a second. 940. 940. Okay, so now your bonus was 940 for the month. What was it per week?
As in the weekly bonus or the weekly ALP?
What was, now your bonus was 940 for the month. What was your bonus per week?
Like $200.
200.
Uh,
Basically, we got to take what? 940 divided by 4, right? So it's like 235. 235. Guys with me? Okay. So your bonus this month was 940. So your weekly bonus was pretty much 235 a week, right? And you got a 940 bonus because you wrote what? 8,000. 8,000. And you wrote 8,000 because what did you write per week? 2,000, right? So if you write 2,000 per week, what should your weekly bonus be? So if you do 2,000 per week, that means you're going to do 8,000 a month. If you do 8,000 a month, that means your bonus is 940 for the month. And if your bonus is 940, then your weekly bonus would be 235. So there we go. You got it, right? So 2,000 a week, bonus would be
235.
235. You got it. 235 is your weekly bonus. 235 is the weekly bonus. When someone does 2,000 per week for a month, their average weekly bonus is 235. So now your paycheck for the week was 780. Bonus for the week was 235. When we add that up, that is a total now of, if you can see in the bottom over here, 1015. 1015. Your total income was $1,015 for the week. And the total production was 2,000. So we always try to say, if you, whatever you do in ALP, you typically can cut it in half, and that's what your paycheck should be, and a little bit more actually. So it should be cut it in half and take it a little bit more. Okay. Does that make sense? All right, that's the agent pay.
I did not know that it went way into depth like that. Like I thought it was just like.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. These are contracts, you know, what you're sending up there, and there's life insurance policies, and, you know, this is just a whole different animal. You know, you've got to understand the business, and it's a business, and it's all makes sense. It's all numbers. It all balances out, you know, everything balances out, and just the systems, procedures, processes, and really everything. I love it because it all it's like you know, like numbers make sense. Like 2 + 2, it's going to be 4, right? And I like that because I can count on that. It's reliable. You know, nobody can really argue with that.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of like that. There's like safety in that, security, facts. You know, and that's this industry, this business. It's all numbers. I swear, it's all numbers, it's all systems, it's all procedures. Guarantee if you're not getting the right results, you're just not doing the right things. But when you do the right things, I guarantee you that you will get the right results, you know. and we just got to work and figure those out. There's systems, the procedures, the processes, but the numbers will always add up at the end of the day, and whatever you put in is going to come out in the back end, right? So it's like input, output. So we just got to make sure we're putting the right input in, If you put the right put in, the right amount of input in, you're putting it the right, it's going to come out. The output's going to come out, So, all right, so keeping it moving now. I'm going to have to erase some of this stuff. I feel sad. We did a lot of work here to get this on the board. You guys good? You want to take a picture of it or anything? Good? Okay, all right. It's going. All right, next we're going to go over essay now. Essay. Now, in order to do essay, we got to make sure you understand this agent and what we're talking about. And there's a lot more to this. I mean, this is just trying to give you guys in depth without going too far in depth, obviously. Okay, so an essay goes from a 60% to what? What's the essay's commission? 62 and a half. 62 and a half. So you could write that up there, 62 and a half. 62.5 essay.
That stands for supervising agent, right?
Supervising agent, you got it, supervisor. Now, first thing is when you get this 62.5% increase, right? What happens when you write personal business? So you see 3 people, you get your 3 sales, you do 2,000, your commission's not 60 now, your commission's 62.5. So you're going to get a higher commission on your personal business. Second thing that happens when you write personal business, you're going to get a higher renewal versus when you're an agent, like we just talked about. Okay, so that's the first cool thing that happens. Now, after that, let's see here. After that, you get paid 2 ways based upon your team. 2 ways. So remember how an agent gets paid? 2 ways. Same thing when you become a supervisor. Now, the cool thing when you become a supervisor is you get paid 4 ways. The first way you get paid is when you write 2,000 for the week, you're going to get paid your commission. And then your second way you get paid is you're going to get paid what? A bonus. Bonus. No renewals. No renewals. Renewals don't come until you're here for a year. So when we just went over, right? When you're an agent, or let's say when you're a supervisor and you write personal business, keep in mind, you write personal business, they're going to pay you just the same way. So you're going to get paid your commission and you're going to get paid your bonus. But now also when you're a supervising agent, who do you think you're supervising? Agents, right? So when you supervise an agent and you do a great job, you train them, develop them, help them, right? Those agents now are able to go out and see 10 people, at least get 3 enrollments for some average deals, and get 2,000 ALP for themselves. So at 2,000 ALP, now let me ask you this. How many agents do you want to have? 3 or 4, yeah. Let's say you're a supervisor and you have 3 agents that you supervised, okay? So put 3 over here in front of this agent. 3 agents at 2,000 ALP equals what? 6,000. Okay. How do we get paid off of this? I didn't write this business. Who wrote the business? The agents wrote the business. So when you're in leadership, we get 2 ways you get paid in leadership. The first way, if you could imagine, is your commission. Just like when you're an agent, first way you can pay your commission. Now, what is the commission off of this $6,000? What is the commission off that 6,000? So you guys, yeah, see now you're at a 62 and a half. Great. That's right. You guys got that. You're at 62 and a half. Now think about it though. The agents are at what? 60. So they are getting paid from 0% all the way up to 60%. Goes to who? The agent. We're at 62 and a half. So we capture that 2.5%. And you know what they would call it back in the day? I don't know if they, I still call it this. This is an old term, override. It's your override. You get a 2.5% override off the team. Does that make sense? So that's pretty simple. Our commission now is the ALP, which was what? 6,000, right? Times 2.5, which is $150. That equals your commission override. But remember, when we get our commission, what do they give us out of our commission? In advance of 65%. So that would give you $100 for the week. And that other $50 that you didn't get will be held into what? The back end, and you get that paid in month 10, 11, and 12. That's not a renewal. That's the rest of your commission, right? So like if you wrote business today, this is March, this would start coming to you by like November, December, the rest of your money. Now, the other thing we have here is bonus, okay? The way the supervisor earns a bonus, that's the second way we get paid, just like when you're an agent, commission and bonus. So bonus, how does the bonus work? I'll put it up here. The supervisor bonus equals this, 125% of the team's bonus for people that are in their first 90 days. Anybody that is considered 90 plus, when they get a bonus, the supervisor gets 25%. So how would this look? What I would like to just say, guys, if I could keep it simple for you, sometimes I don't even want to tell you this. Sometimes I don't want to tell anybody about this because it gets you excited, but also sometimes confused. So to keep it simple, is some people on your team are going to be in their first 90 days. You're going to get 125% of their bonus. Some people are going to be out of their first 90 days. You're going to get 25% of their bonus. If you average it out, if I had one person, I get 125 off of theirs, and I have another person where I got 25 off of theirs, and they wrote the same amount of business, and one person was in their first 90 days, and one of them was out of their first 90 days, what would that average out to be? 75%. So let me just tell you, the average supervisor would get about a 75% bonus off of their team in general. So if you want to keep it simple and just use average numbers, and does that make sense for us, obviously? So now let's think about what is this team earning in a bonus? Because I know that whatever the team earns in a bonus, I'm going to get what? 75%, right? I'm not going to get 125 or I'm not going to get 25. It's going to be somewhere around 75% on average. So what is the team earning in a bonus? Well, we had what? 3 agents, and each agent did 2,000, right? So that means we had 3 agents and they all bonused at what? 235. Why'd they bonus at 235? Because they did 2,000 for the week. You got it. You do 2,000 a week, you're bonusing at 235 a week. We had 3 agents bonus at 235. That's a total of bonus money paid out to the team of $705. That's what my team got in bonuses. They got that. For being the supervisor, they're going to give us 75% of that. So we'll times that by 75%, and that will shake out to be $525. I think it's like 528, but it's 520 some dollars. That's the bonus for the week, and we'll backtrack this real quick, okay? Because I want to make sure we got it. So how does this work? How does this work out? Okay. What happened is I had 3 agents, and they each did 2,000. So each agent bonused at 235. And at the end of the week, I mean, that's a total bonus money that the team gets of 705. We get 75% of that. So our bonus as a supervisor bonus, the leadership bonus on that is 525. And that's what you get deposited in your bank account. Now the advance on that was $100. So we also earned $100 in advances for the week. So 100 plus 525 is a total income for the week for the supervisor leadership pay. This is just for the team, would be 625. Now the supervisor still goes out and they still see their clients. And at this point, you got a team, you're leading from the front, you're motivated. You're probably not going to do less than them. You're probably going to do what? More than them, you would assume, you know. And that's why you're the supervisor. That's why, you know, that you're their dog. That's why they follow you. That's why they get excited to work with you, you know, because you lead from the front. And if you end up doing 2,000 for the week, well, we already know you'll at least make what? Now, if you do 1,000, or if you do 2,000 ALP for the week, total income, what would be your total income? About 1,000, right? So if I'm a supervisor and I go do 2,000 for the week, then my income off of my 2,000 is what? $1,000. But then my team also did a decent job and they all made $1,000 each. And for that, my pay was $625. And that's how you put together a nice little week, made $1,600 for the week. That is right around $80,000 a year, 82,000, 84, 82 to 84,000 right there.
That's almost as much money as I made in a month as at my last job.
What?
I was working at a machine shop. I
Oh.
was making like $450 a week. So I would make like $1,800 a month. That's, if I could make that in a week here,
Isn't that crazy?
that's wild.
Yeah, and other people get to make money too. You got 3 other people doing it.
And that's,
Yeah.
that's only if they sell 2,000
Yeah,
ALP. They, you know, I see the guys out here. They're
that's
going.
like minimum, yeah.
Yeah, like,
you're 2,000. I mean,
that ain't even.
they're you know.
People,
They might not even know if you showed up to the office today. You know, so no, I'm just kidding. It's a good solid job, you know, when you get out there and you do that. But the potential is like, you know, obviously unlimited. My first month here was July of 2008, and I went out and did 24,000 that first month, which if you divide, that's about 6,000 a week. Also, that was my birthday. You know, so yeah, I guarantee, you know what I was doing on my birthday. I'm not kidding. So anyways, the point of it though is, you know, once I did 6,000 a week, I did 24,000 my first month. I knew for the rest of my career I can do it. And I knew I can teach other people to do it because I was like, I did it, I can teach you to do it. So I was able to help. I was #1 agent. So I was able to help other people be #1 agent. So now let's go. Any questions on SA or agent? Questions on the SA or agent, guys? No? All right, let's go into the last 2 and we'll wrap up here. Last 2 we're going to go through is the GA and the MGA.
general agent?
GA is a general agent. So what I usually say was agent, supervisor, manager, general manager. Because most people out there, if you said a general agent, they wouldn't know what you're talking about. So I usually say agent, agent, supervisor, manager, general manager when I talk to like the public. Just makes more sense. But yeah, this is the GA now. The GA with us is the manager. So the GA is at a 67.5% contract. 67.5. Okay. And the GA should have 2 essays developed. And those 2 essays should have 3 agents developed. Just like we talked about. So the essays are sitting at what? 62.5%, right?
Yep.
And the agents are at 60%. So we get paid 2 ways. The first way is what? Commission. This is leadership pay. When you're a GA, you get paid 4 ways, right? The first way we get paid is off of our personal business commission, personal business bonuses. But the second way we get, or the third and fourth way we get paid is leadership pay. So we get leadership commission, leadership bonuses. So the leadership commission now is going to be what? What percentage? Let's think about this now. Whenever the agent writes business, when the agent writes business, they're going to get paid 60%. And then the essay gets paid off of that what? 2.5%. Well, what's the split here? 5%. You guys got it. Boom. So we're getting a 5% override, 5%, which is how much? Double what the essay gets. And off of how many more people? Double. Right?
Yeah. I mean,
Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, just keep going.
Okay. So supervisor now has 4 people. This supervisor has 4 people. So there's a total on the GA's team of what? 8 people. So let's say the GA has 8 people and each person's doing 2,000, right? So the team is doing a total of 16,000 per week, right? Okay. So we know that the GA is going to get a commission override of 5% on that 16,000. So 5% of the 16,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Now 5%, 16,000 equals $800. So our commission is $800. We're going to get on that 800 though. What are we going to get on it? 65%. 0.65 times 800, 520, 520. $520. Let's see here. That's the advance. So that's the first way we get paid. So for the week, you made 800, but they put 520 in your bank account, and they got the other 380 or 280 sitting till the back end. All right, that's the first way we get paid, right? Second way we get paid now is what? Bonus. Number 2 is bonus. Now, the way the GA's bonus works is 135 for people in their what? First 90 days. And then 50% for people that are 90 plus. Yep. You get 50% bonus off of everybody on your team forever and ever and ever. They could be in Arizona. They could be anywhere. Montana, Iowa. And anytime they earn a bonus, they're going to get all of their bonus. You're going to get 50% on top of their bonus, right? So how motivated would you be to train someone if you knew you get half their bonus forever and ever and ever? You know? So anyways, the average though is not 135 and the average is not 50, right? The average is right in there, 85%. Does that make sense? So the GA, whatever their team gets in a bonus, the GA gets 85% of that. So 85% of what? Let's figure it out. Well, what is the GA's team bonus? What is their team bonus? We had 8 people all do 2,000. So we had 8 people all bonus at what is their bonus?
Oh, 235.
235. That's right. So yeah, we had 8 people all bonus at 235, which is, what is that, 18 something?
470 times 4, that's 1,880.
1880. Let's see. 8 times 235, 1880. We're getting good at math here today, guys. So that's 1880. Now, what does that 1880 equal, guys? That is what the team got in their bonus. So if you're the GA of that team, what percentage out of that do you get? 85%. So I'll times that by 0.85, and we're looking at 1598. Can we call it 1600? We'll call it 1600. Okay. So the bonus is 85% of this 1800. What is 1600? So that's the bonus for the GA. And that's on top of the commission, which is 520. So 520 plus 1600 is 2120. And that's for your team doing what? 16,000. So if your team did 16,000, your paycheck is 2,100, and we still didn't go do any business ourselves. So this is how you see, like, when Vince was a GA, his team would go and do like 30 some thousand. His paycheck for the week would be like $4,000. And then he would go write business and he'd write $5 or $6,000. And he'd make another $3 or $4,000 off of his personal business. Because keep in mind, you're getting paid 67.5 now instead of 60. So you get better commissions too, right? And he was making $5, $6,000 in a week as a GA by doing both, you know? So let's look at it real quick. You're at 2120 off of the team. Only 8 people, all doing average numbers.
Yeah.
Not kidding. Nobody's getting an outstanding performance certificate on your team. And then you go out and do just 2,000 for the week. You know, that'll make you an extra 1,000 on top of that. So you make 1,000 off of that, and that puts you at $3,100 for the week for the income, right?
It's average. That's like average number.
Yeah, that's about $150 a year. We want to see the GAs, you know, at least making 100,000. You know, agents should be making a minimum of 40. Minimum, you know, 40 to 60 is like an average situation. SAs 70 to 100, GAs 100 to 200, and MGAs 200 up. RGAs I'd say RGAs, we could count on them at 400 to 500 starting out, you know. Like Gio this is his first year as an RGA. You know, he should be, over $500,000 this year. First year as an RGA. We started last year. Me and Gio moved out here last year. When Gio moved out, he had like 3 people. He moved out here as Vince, Ashley Miza, Matt Hunsberger, and Gio. That's who moved out here. Gio, Vince, Hunsberger, Ashley Miza. Right?
Yep.
March last year. And we worked last year and just, like I tell you, did all the behind the scenes stuff. All behind the scenes stuff, all last year. And then this year, he shows up on the scene, makes 500,000, you know? So that's RGA numbers, becoming RGA. Well, let's go to the last one so we can wrap up here, guys. Any questions on the GA? No? All right. Last one is the MGA we'll talk about.
Oh, wait, yeah, I did.
Go ahead.
You can erase it.
While I'm erasing, go ahead.
Do you make commission off of what, like more or less or the same off of what the essay stuff?
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, that was included in all those numbers when we did that. So, if the essay made a sale, it's the same as if the agents did. It's all the same. Yep. So the MGA now is at MGA is 75%. GA 67.5. SA 62.5. Agent 60. What's it look like here? Well, what it would look like would be if you had an MGA that had a GA that we just went over, and that GA had how many essays? 2 essays, and each essay had how many? 3 agents, right? And then you had another GA, and they had the same setup. Essay, couple agents, couple agents. That means that this team right here has a total of how many people? 9 people. This team right here has 9 people. So your MGA team has a total of 18 people. All right. Now, let's figure out how we want to do this. Let's do this, okay? Out of all the team here, we're going to just say instead of 18 people, because I want to do easy math for us. You'll thank me as we go through this, okay? Is we're going to use 15. You should have 18, and they should be doing 2,400 a week each. We're going to do, remember that? Remember that all these numbers should be 2,400 a week. Remember that. And we're doing what? 2, okay? Let's digest that for a second. All right, good. Now, okay, now instead of 18 people, we're going to say what? 15, okay? And 15 people are all going to do what? 2,000, and that's what? 30,000 for a week. That's the number we're going to use for this MGA team as an example. Just to show you how it would all be structured, work, mentally, so you could picture how it looks and everything. Okay. When the team writes 30,000, when the agents write business, the essays get 2.5. When the essays and the agents write business, the GA gets 5, right? When the GA writes business, the SA writes business, the agents write business, when any of these people write business, right there to right there is what? 7.5%, right? So the MGA makes 7.5% off the whole team. So an MGA equals, the first way we get paid, we'll call this, would be what? Commission. The MGA can still write business, and MGA writes business. What's their commission? 75. That's big time. That's 25% more than the agent gets when they write business. So commission, though, on leadership is 7.5% times what the team did, which is what? 30 grand. So the commission equals, anybody want to figure 7.5 times 30
7.5 times 30.
is 2250. Yep.
Working on my head.
Sorry, I don't want to ruin your fun there. 2250 is the commission for the week. And remember, we get advance on commission 65%, which is 1,500.
How do we get from the 30,000 to the 2250?
Okay, so your
Oh,
team,
17.5%.
7.5, right? So your team wrote 30,000. How'd your team write 30,000? We had 15 agents all do two. So your team wrote 30, and on your override, on the override is 7.5%. So 7.5% times 30,000 will give us a commission of 2250. And then we get an advance on that of 65, like always. So that puts us to about 1,500. Right? Makes sense?
Yes.
All right. So boom, that's the money we made for the week in advance. And we still build up, which is cool. You built up right there for the week. You just deposited $750 into your back end. Stacking money you don't even know is stacking at this point. That's what happened. That's legit stuff. Like, you don't get blinded by this week's paycheck. There's a lot more that came from. You know? So that's cool. Now, the second thing is we get paid bonus. The essays bonus was pretty cool. The GA's bonus was pretty cool. What do you think about this MGA bonus?
Probably gonna be pretty cool too.
What do you think about 100%?
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Whatever your team gets in a bonus, you get in a bonus. So we had 15 people, all bonus at 235. I'll break out the calculator on that. 15 times 235. Yeah, see that? That's 35.20. And this bonus is way better now than when I started. That's 35.25.
That's with 15 people, not 18.
Correct. And doing 2,000.
Yeah.
35.25. 35.25. Now that's your bonus. And then we get a commission of 1,500. So when you add that up, that equals $5,025. Is that for the week or for the month? That's for the week. And then you didn't even go out and write any business yourself as the MGA. Like Vince wrote 2,100 last week as the MGA.
Yeah, that was a crazy deal.
You know, see, Josh MDA wrote a couple thousand last week. So then you just, why not? You're sitting at home, hop on a Zoom call real quick and make a quick buck. Before I would have to drive all the way to somebody's house and hope they were there. If I got no-showed, kind of sucked. I'll be honest with you.
How often did that happen?
Same rate it happens today. It's 50%. So now you get no-showed. So what? You didn't have to buy no gas, go nowhere. No big deal, right? I want to book appointments on a Sunday, but I'm like, I don't want to drive out there on a Sunday and then get no-showed. That would suck. Plus, even if they did show up, then I still have to drive out there on a Sunday, hour, spend an hour and a half with them, then drive an hour back. So an hour presentation was never an hour presentation. It was a 3-hour presentation because it took me an hour to get there, an hour to get back, and an hour to present. Now I can give an hour presentation and it'll take me an hour, and I can go back and have soup and grilled cheese with the kids. Right?
What's the ratio nowadays between, like, how often are agents still going out to people's homes to see them, or is it entirely
10%.
10%?
Yeah.
So it's mostly on Zoom now?
Yep. Yeah, but you can, you can go out to the people if you want to see them though, for sure. Does this make sense though here?
Yep.
All right, man, this is good, 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 good. So that's 5,000 a week right there in income. We got to those numbers. I won't be backtracking anywhere. Right? We good? 15 people got $235 in a bonus. 15 people did 2,000. So that's $3,500 in a bonus, and you get the same one. So that's how the MGA works right there. And when you become an RGA, you get the same bonus the MGA gets. So, I can tell you real quick. You want to see some money? This is how I made $1 million in my 4th year at the company. You guys got time, or you want to just break?
I'd like to know how much money I'm going to get in a year.
Okay. This took me 4 years to do, guys. This took 4 years to do. So, but in my 4th year, it happened. What I did, and what you do is you become an RGA. Okay. And an RGA oversees MGAs. Right? But an RGA is also an MGA. So you're going to be an MGA over here. This is you. This is you. You are the MGA. Okay, stay over here now. This is you. And what you do is you develop one of your GAs to become an MGA. Now you are their RGA. This person's gone. They come over here. Guess what you're still doing over here? You're still an MGA. Right? You're still an MGA. You still got more GAs. You got another GA here. You got some SAs that are coming up. You got this person over here. He's an SA. He'll be a GA next month. You got teams, you got people. But that guy got promoted. Okay. So now you're the RGA over there, but you're still your MGA. And the MGA, you're still making how much a week? Yeah, you're still making 5,000 a week over here. Okay. Don't forget about that. Okay. But you're an RGA now. Your MGA goes out there and your MGA is making $5,000 a week because you trained them to do 30K. So this MGA is doing $30,000 in production. Okay. The MGA is at a 75% contract. The RGA is at an 80% contract. So what do we know about that? Remember, when you're an RGA, you get paid 2 ways. First way is what? Commission. So to figure out the commission, the RGA is at a what? 80%. The MGA is at 75. So we get that 5% is that difference in there. So we know this MGA is doing what? 30,000. I get 5% of that 30,000. So what's 5% of 30,000? 1,500. So my commission is $1,500. And then I get what on that? In advance, 65%. So I get $1,000 is my what? Advance on that commission. Second way I get paid as an RGA. Second way is what? Bonus. Second way we get paid is bonus. Okay. Well, here's what the RGA bonus is, okay? If you are an RGA, I'll draw it like this. If you're an RGA and you have one MGA, then your bonus off that one MGA is 90%. If you have two MGAs, then your bonus off of those two MGAs is 95% off all of it. If you have 3 MGAs, your bonus is 100%. If you have 4 MGAs, your bonus is what? 105. If you have 5 MGAs, your bonus is what? 110. If you have 6 MGAs, your bonus is what? Nope. That was my trick question of the day. It stays at 110. All right, stays at 110. But you can have as many MGAs as you want. And where do they come from? You develop them from your MGA team. When it's time for your GA to become an MGA, they become an MGA and they go on your RGA team. Right? Here's the cool thing now. Whenever they get a bonus, you're getting pretty much the same bonus that they get. Right? So let's use an example of having 1, and then I'll use an example of having 5. Okay? So the example is, if you have 1 MGA, they do 30,000 a week. We know that our advance on that is going to be what? $1,000. Okay? Now, keep that in mind. We're going to save this for next time. Because look, now listen, if I had 5 MGAs and each MGA did 30,000 a week, then my advance will be $1,000 for each one of them. So my advance will be what? 5,000. Just keep that in mind. Now the bonus, this MGA's total paycheck, we just figured it out, right? When you do 30 grand, you make how much? 5,000. Out of that 5,000, how much was the bonus? 3,500 was the bonus. 1,500 was their advance, right? So my MGA is getting a bonus of what? $3,500, right? So good. I'm happy. That's why I wanted you to work so hard and become an MGA dog so you could get $3,500 bonuses on a weekly basis. Now, I'm happy for him, but also I'm happy for me because as the RGA, I get 90% of that, which would be, I don't know, $3,100 or something, $3,200. So my bonus is $3 grand, we'll call it, just to be safe. And the advance is 1,000. So what did I make over here? $4,000 for the week for having what? 1 MGA over here. And then I also made how much for the week? 5,000, right? What did my team do? You know, I did 30, my other dude did 30. So how much is that? 9,000? Okay. All right. That's 3rd year for me with the company. Made 512,000 in my 3rd year. So the last thing I'll show you is, what if you had 5? Can you guys just help me with this math a little bit? And we'll bang through this so we can get out of here, okay? This will be the easiest thing. You're an RGA. You have how many now? 5 MGAs. And each one now is at 30,000 a week. So they did how much in production? 150,000 of ALP for the week. All right? We get what override on these guys?
5%.
You got it. You got it. We get 5% override on that, right? So what's 5% of 150? $7,500. And remember, we get 65% of that up front, right? So 65 is what? $5,000, just like we talked about before. That's called your what? Commission. That's the first way we get paid. Commission, 5 grand. second. Hey guys, where did we lose you at? I think we just blew the internet up with this one. So basically, this is 16,000 plus $5,000 plus another $5,000. We figured out it was 26,500. So did you guys get all that? Where do we lose you?
The 5,000 was the last that I heard.
Okay. Yes. You saw the 16.5?
No, just the 5,000, the commission.
All right, so 5,000 is going to be your commission. The bonus is what we have 5 MGAs, and each MGA will bonus at 3,500 a week, but we're going to use $3,000. So if you have 5 MGAs bonus at $3,000 for a week, then that means your MGA's bonus at $15,000 total. And remember, as the RGA, we get a percentage of what the MGA's bonus is. And since we have 5, that percentage is 110%. So we get 110% of that $15,000, which will be 16,500. 16,500 would be the RGA bonus for the week. And then the $5,000 is the RGA commission for the week. So the total RGA pay is 21,500. And if the RGA is also an MGA, then they're going to get $5,000 in their MGA pay, which would put them at 26,500 for the week. And I was telling these guys that I won't forget the first time that I made over 20,000. My wife, was not my wife at the time, but my wife now was crying because I made more money in a week than she made in a year.
Did she quit her job after that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, when we found out we were pregnant with Tommy, she worked there for a couple of months, and then she took her maternity leave. And on that day, I bought her a Mickey Mouse retirement card. She's 24 years old. And I was able to retire my wife forever. So you're never going to have to go to work again, babe, if you don't want to. Yeah. That's funny now, huh?
Is your dad's name and your son's name Thomas?
Yes. Yeah.
So your son's the third.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my dad's Thomas Joseph. I'm Thomas Angelo. And then my son's Thomas Angelo. So he's really like the second in those regards.
Junior.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Technically the third.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah. But so I wanted to break, but we spent an extra 15 minutes probably to go over some of these numbers and stuff. So I hope it wasn't too much of a waste of your guys' time here.
Wait,
Yeah, dude. No,
I'm just messing with you.
This cleared up any doubts I had about this job. Not that I had many to begin with.
I told you the path is all math too, man. I'm trying to show you the math, and there's more. And we could test these numbers and go back and forth, and
Don't
you
people
know.
pay you a lot of money just for an hour and we're getting it for free right now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a waste. It's not a waste of our time.
Yeah. So, yeah. When we were doing speaking engagements and stuff, I was starting to do some of that stuff. There's college gave me for a half hour, $1,500 for a half hour. So that was pretty cool. So that's sort of like if anybody wants the rate, that's what I would just charge them.
$30,000 an hour?
Yeah, maybe give them a break or something. So they want to do a whole hour or something. Who knows? Depends. Like the one girl wanted me to do it, and it was just like her sales team, So I was like, well, if it was a college, I had to travel. It's a big, they have a lot more institutional money. I could say $1,500 for a half hour. For you, I'll hop on Zoom. For your team, like $500, for a half hour or something. I hooked them up with that, but yeah. Inspiration. education, motivation. Those are the three things that I can provide in about a half hour for somebody that, hopefully would be some sort of value. And before I would do it, I would talk to them, figure out what's important to them, and come up with something that was specific to them. I won't just walk in there and give them the same cookie cutter speech that I gave the last company. I had to speak at a jail one time. Yeah. It was, so anybody ever see the Desperate Housewives?
Yeah.
So the guy from Desperate Housewives got caught, this Italian guy, doing all kind of legal stuff, and the wife got caught too. I don't know if you saw this, the one from New Jersey. The lady, she's like real like dark features. Anyways, her husband end up going to jail, and they end up sticking him in a jail right in the middle of Pennsylvania. It's like 6 hours from my house. I had to be there at 8 a.m. or something like that. So it was crazy. I woke up really, really early, drove all the way out there, and they wouldn't let you in. I had to take everything off. I wouldn't have nothing metal on. I couldn't bring anything in at all. I'd just go in there. I wouldn't even be able to bring this like bracelet and nothing. So I went in and I spoke to the graduates for their GEDs. They had a graduating class. When you go to jail, you have to do that. So I have to, yeah, you guys can run if you got to. Sorry, I was just this extra story. So you guys can break if you want, going on tangents right now. But yeah, so it was pretty interesting because I had to come up with something to tell motivational to people that were in jail. Way different. You know what I'm saying? Like I can motivate every free people I hear you go, like it's different, So, but it was good. It was good. Yeah. But anyways, hey, Brian, great job today, man. Hope you got some good notes. And go ahead and hook up with your managers. Take a break, take a break and then hook up with your managers. And have a great night tonight on your first night here, guys. All right. Appreciate your time. Thanks.